What is going on, YouTube? It is a cold, rainy, snowy Sunday. I almost forgot what day it was. Cold, rainy Sunday here in North Carolina. I don't know where spring is. I feel like we're just going to skip spring altogether and go straight to like 90-degree swamp ass weather here in North Carolina. It's just, I don't know. I really don't understand it. And of course, Friday I ran out of welding gas, so I just threw some flux core wire I had laying around. It's gonna take a little bit more grinding because, you know, flux core just, it doesn't give you as good of a weld, but it'll do the job for what we're doing. Right now, I've already started doing the gapping process on the passenger side of the Camaro. Like this right here was completely like, you couldn't even get like a credit card in it. This gap is pretty good. I'm gonna close it up just a tad bit, but it's like super tight down here. I couldn't move the door forward to get this gap right because this gap down here is perfect, but it was super tight here. It's a little wide here, but it's like in the ballpark there. The body lines are good. Everything's where it needs to be. It was just, these cars just don't fit good for the factory. That's why I had to spend so much time on the passenger or the driver's side. So I'm grinding back with my flap disc right there, grinding back the door. And whenever you do that, the door wants to separate, so I'm only doing like probably like 3 inches at a time and then stitch welding it back up. And yeah, because whenever you grind it, you're grinding away at the end of the door, so the door skin is splitting from the actual door frame, I guess you want to call it. So yeah, it's a time consuming process, but in the end it's going to make all the difference in the car. Shit, I don't even know if I really gave you guys an update of what I've been doing to the car here lately. Changed a lot. No back glass. I don't think you guys have seen it without the glass in it. I just busted out the glass. The glass was old. It was tired. It was beat up. I'll probably insert a video right here of me breaking it. It was a wild little like punch thing. And that it did. That didn't take much. Got rid of the front windshield also. Glass was just old, scratched up, burnt up from welding the cage in. It was just beat up. We started body working the roof. This is like super straight now. Got this side roughed in. We have not started on this side yet because it's just wavy as the ocean right now. It's just this car, these cars just, I don't know, it's an old car. A lot of people would go ahead and just paint over this, but I want this thing to be laser straight. I want people to like actually look at it and be like, wow, that's a really nice Camaro, second gen Camaro. I welded in, this used to be two separate panels. This was separate from the quarter panel. I went ahead and welded that up for a nice clean look. Haven't really messed with the trunk yet. I'm gonna start doing the trunk later on. I need to adjust the latch so that brings that side down. I need to center the trunk because we took it off when we did the cage and we just threw it back on. It didn't really like align it or anything. The trunk, actually, I replaced the trunk spring, so now the trunk stays open by itself. No longer have to hold it when I'm pumping up gas because the fuel cell's in the back. That is pretty much all I've got going on. I started stripping this quarter panel a little bit. Just a little bit. You can see where I like stripped it and then just sprayed like a little guide coat on it just to keep it from rusting totally out. But yeah, we're gonna get the roof probably in primer next weekend. My buddy Danny's gonna come over again one day during the week and we're gonna bust out this roof. That way we can go ahead. We're probably gonna body work the roof down to here and body work it down to A-pillar. And go ahead and get the roof checked off, everything good on it. And then we'll probably work on the hood next. We're either going to do a hood or work on this quarter panel Then the door, we're just gonna work our way and just do exactly what we did here. Just wipe the whole thing, block it, get everything laser straight. I know people are probably looking at this and like, wow, that's a lot of filler, but it actually is really not. It's just, that's the only way to get one of these cars straight. Really, any kind of car, even new cars. You look on new cars where like the door handles are. If you look at it, you can see where it's like wavy from where it was stamped out. We're getting rid of all that stuff. You look at any like big builds, like big name builds, before they go into paint, you're gonna see this same thing. Same technique being used. They wipe the whole car, block the whole car. We're using Durablocks right now, but like towards the end, we're gonna use, Danny's got these other blocks that have actual like rods through them, because these blocks, they bend a little bit. So whenever we're doing like long panels like the doors or the quarter panels, we're gonna use those blocks. But yeah, I guess do a little time lapse of me welding up this this gap over here, or not gap, I guess it is a gap. Welding up this door skin where I've welded it, or where I've grinded it, and you probably see it in a spot like right here. You can see where it's like split. You can see, I don't know if you can see or not because lighting is not the best, but go ahead and start working on that. Set up the GoPro and yeah, start welding with this shitty ass flux core. I wish I had some gas. It's so much better with gas. The flux core just does not weld like gas. It just splatters everywhere. It just sucks. But yep, we'll go ahead and set up the GoPro and get to welding. Alright, we're gonna take a break from this backside. See, we were just tack welding, tack, just trying to keep the heat down so it doesn't warp this panel. So we're gonna let that cool off and we're gonna jump in the front. And you can see where that's gonna be really tight, but we're gonna come back through and cut it back in with the grinder, because right here, this is what I use to determine a 3/16 gap. And she's very loose, dog. And as you can see, I just tack. I try to space out my tacks and space out the heat as I'm going. I'll tack, let it cool, put another tack, and that way it just doesn't warp this panel like to the point where I can't use it. That's just my technique I'm using. Some will be like, oh yeah, you're doing that shit totally wrong. Well, this is the way I'm doing it. I see people that use just filler, and they'll put like a foam tape behind this gap, and they'll just white filler, and they'll get 2 razor blades on a paint stick, and that's pretty much what you want for a gap. And they'll come through and they cut the filler as it's like tacking up, which I'm gonna do that, but I want to close the gap as much as possible with metal, because I really don't want a bunch of filler. Like that's a pretty good bit of filler if I was using actual plastic filler, because the more filler you use, the more prone it is to chip off or crack, and this shit ain't going nowhere. It's tacked up. It's gonna be fully welded. It just takes forever. It's a time-consuming process. Again, I'm gonna do a little time lapse of doing this. Alright, you guys can see where I spaced out my tacks just to keep the heat nice and even on this panel. Because if you just run a bead straight down here, this panel is going to be so wavy, and you're just going to spend so much time hammering, dialing, trying to get it right. And in the long run, if you just run a bead, it's going to be more filler in it. You just might as well have done it with filler to begin with. So if you space out your tacks, it spaces out the heat on the panel, lets shit cool in the process of doing it. Now I'm gonna get a cutoff wheel and go ahead and slice this right here. That way I can bring it down, because it's kind of a hard bend right there to like heat up and bend. But yeah, let's get back on it.
It's by accident.
And we're back. GoPro actually died during the time-lapse process. You guys really didn't miss much. My phone died with it. My phone was literally on 45%. Went to go change the song on Pandora and it dropped down to 3. I don't know what was up with that. That's the second time it's done that in like the last week. I don't know what's going on with it. But, boom. That is what I'm stopping with today. I just sprayed some little spray paint, just some spray bomb in a can spray paint just to like lock it in so it didn't rust. But I stopped about right here. I still need to feather that in a little bit better. But yeah, that's what it looked like before. Just tacks, tack, as you guys saw in the time lapse. But yeah, the gap is nice and tight now. It's a little too tight in spots. I still need to work on it a little bit more. But yeah, it's getting there. It's way better than it was before. And if we come back here, same thing. Same thing. Like you literally could not put anything, like I said before. I still need to grind that down. I have not ground that down at all. But I'm tired. I want to go spend time with my daughter and get ready for the work week. Back to the grind. But yeah, I'm tired. It's time to go home. Screw you guys. I'm going home. Hope you guys like these kind of videos. First time ever doing a time lapse and my battery died. Definitely got to order some backup batteries for the GoPro for things like this. Drop a comment below. Let me know if you guys like this kind of stuff. Me working, like watching me work on the car in the garage. First time I'm really trying to like edit videos for you guys. I want to give you guys better content. I'm new at this whole editing videos. I don't know. I've been watching like how-to videos of like how to add music, how to do this, how to do that. I just don't know how to use Final Cut Pro at all. I really don't have that many friends nearby that do YouTube or like edit stuff. So, and I'm like one of those guys, I don't really like asking for help for things. I'd rather just learn from like trial and error. That's what I've done with this car, like trial and error pretty much everything. But yeah, I'm getting better with the editing stuff. It's just hopefully we see incline in quality versus a decline. But catch you guys in the next video. If this is the first time checking into my YouTube, checking out the Camaro, hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. Trying to get those subs up, trying to get noticed on YouTube a little bit. But yeah, maybe it'll go somewhere. But if it doesn't, I'm gonna still make videos, even if they're shitty, of the car. Next summer is gonna be crazy. This car will be painted, looking good. This summer will be probably nothing but videos of bodywork and small mechanical work. I still need to bleed the brakes, measure for a drive shaft, redo the exhaust, do some videos of those things. Also do some interior stuff once we get the bodywork roughed in. I really don't want to do any interior work now because yeah, boom, dust everywhere. But yeah, definitely hit the subscribe button. More to come. See you guys in the next video. Bye.